two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. What is up, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes? It's your boy, Eddie Collins.
Guys, this is Justin Brown.
And we are Medium Popcorn Niggas Spoiler Movies. And we're going to spoil the shit out of this dog shit. So you don't have to pay a cent to see this. Which is so frustrating. But we'll get into it. But to help us break down this fucking movie is one of our longtime fans and Patreon subscribers, Sid Tobias. How you doing?
How's it going? Thank you for having me. Very excited.
Thank you for joining us, even though I almost butchered your name just like everybody else. But you're in the club. I almost called you Sid Tobias. Sid Tobias. That's what I was about to do.
He said, welcome, Sid Tobias.
It's funny because I don't go by Sid. My real name's Sid Key, but I go
Sid
by Sid
Key?
Yeah, Sid Key, Sidki.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you know the root of that?
Yeah, Northern African, mostly Moroccan. It's a Muslim name, so.
Okay. Do you know the meaning of it?
First name Sidki is keeper of numbers. That's what I know. So.
Okay, that's cool. That's
Are
cool.
you good at math?
I was a physics major in college.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, bam. They set you up. They set you up nicely.
See, that's the thing is our parents called us Brandon and Justin. So I ended up Brandon means like leader of the Lions or some shit. It's something stupid. And I ain't got no Lions. It's fucking.
Well, my name means with justice or something like that. So apparently I have the hand of justice, this black power fist ready to beat niggas if they get out of line. Actually, what should have been happening in this movie, but it didn't happen.
I mean, that makes more sense. My name actually means Prince, apparently.
Prince.
Which makes sense.
You ain't no Prince.
Hey.
No, it makes sense because I'm like I'm like what's the nigga in the Iron Mask? It's like the good prince and the bad prince. Like,
I see what you're saying.
You never know which one you're gonna get. That makes sense.
You very much a piece of shit. So Sid.
Sometimes I wonder, like, Sid, you've been a long time listener. Do you feel like Justin hates me? Because I love Justin. Justin's like an older brother than me. An older, disturbed brother with a thin mustache. And I love the guy to death, but he's always like, Brandon, you sorry. You the sorriest nigga I know. You don't need to live. You don't have What do you think, Sid, as a longtime fan?
I love the dynamic. I love the dynamic. I have a younger brother, so hey, I grew up with a younger brother, just me and him, so ragging on him, picking on him, that's just what I'm used to that. So the dynamic is so clear that Justin clearly thinks he's your like older brother that could like just beat up on you. But you push back. You push back. But
I try to push back. I try to push back, and then Justin will do some sneaky shit. Like sometimes he'll come to my house and we'll just be chilling. I'll be like, man, me and Justin real good friends, and then he'll blow up my bathroom.
And I'll just about blow up your bathroom. Hey man, a man's got his shit. A man's got his shit. Hey, and we close enough where I should be able to shit in your house and not be judged.
Brother tip, Brandon, next time he does that, you just walk in with a bucket of water and throw it on his ass.
Whoa, Sid.
Wait, Sid, there's so many things that can backfire when you do that. One is you might see your brother's dick. Two is you might throw so much water on them that it actually fills up the toilet. Then you got shit water in your bathroom.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Don't do it in your bathroom. Sorry about that. I would switch it up.
Yeah, and you don't want my shit on your floor.
Cup of water.
You don't want my shit on your floor.
Like
a cup of water.
You come in like I'm a cat with the spray bottle. Just
exactly. Just start throwing shit out. Just throw it. Just take his like car keys, make him like try to catch it out before it falls into the toilet. Fuck him.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know people are coming into the chat right now, and they're just like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Yeah. And folks, remember, if you sign up at Patreon at patreon.com/MediaPopcorn, you're able to join us live when we record episodes, as well as be a guest on this podcast like Sid is. And so, Sid, my first question for you, outside of
Justin and I's dynamic is what made you a fan?
It was maybe like 2018, and I was at a office job. It was whatever job, and I would have my headphones and doing the work I would do because mindless. And I'm a movie guy. I've always loved movies, so I like listening to podcast reviews. And I think I maybe caught one of Rod and Karen's podcasts about maybe some review, and they happened to mention Medium Popcorn. I just remember that, and they were like, "Yo, check out." So I just hit it up on iTunes podcast, and you guys had the Good Burger episode, and that was the first one.
Oh boy!
I mean, I was born in '93, so Good Burger. That's up. I grew up. I love that. So I listened to that. I was like, oh, these two niggas are crazy.
No, Ed is crazy, and that fucking Ed sauce. That's what's crazy.
You're right. No, it was the Good Burger. Then I just went down the list, and it was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers one.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. That was a fun one.
that was it. And I remember maybe like a couple weeks later, join your Patreon. I was like, I need these guys. These are my guys. So every time
we appreciate you joining in on the madness.
I always check on your thing. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you. And you know what? It's good to do this kind of movie review with a fan because it will be a little bit easier to get through. Because I gotta tell you, David Gordon Green, I think, is a talented director, but we'll get into kind of what the original director of The Exorcist said about him. But for me, I was so taken aback by how fucking lazy this felt, how preachy it felt. And Justin and I were there, I think opening night or something like that for the Halloween 2018 reboot. Right. Yeah. And I remember it was a pretty good vibe. It clearly was a lot of horror fans. And then when Jamie Lee Curtis sat down and everyone kind of burst into applause and stuff, it felt like David Gordon Green was trying to go for the same beats as similar to the Halloween 2018 reboot he did. But with The Exorcist, which I think a lot of people know of The Exorcist, and maybe quite a few people have seen it, but I don't know that it has that legacy. You know what I mean? I don't think it has to.
Hold on.
The legacy is different than.
Yeah, no, as I was about to say that
the legacy is different than I guess the franchise potential. Well, is that the right way to say?
Well, I don't think that's necessarily it. Well, yes, franchise potential for sure, but it also doesn't have that particular character who you followed through this entire thing because there is no legacy character. They try to get us Ellen Burstyn, who apparently they fucking paid. They brought all the trucks of money to her fucking house to convince her to do this shit. And you could tell literally they were like, "Hey, Ellen, are you ready to go on set?" She's like, "Sure." What am I saying? Every scene she was in, it felt like that's the one and only take.
She
gave no energy.
Felt forced into the movie for sure. Her being into it. I have very small glimpse for watching the original, and when she popped, I was like, "Dang!" So they just wanted to They just had to shove in something from the original. I feel like that's a thing they do with reboots, when it's not necessary, when it's its own story,
it felt just like Jurassic Park Dominion. It felt like there's no reason for these legacy characters to be back besides you trying to give fan service, but I'm offended as a fan. And then Chris McNeil, her involvement in this movie made no fucking sense. She tried to do an exorcism herself. You saw one as a mother, 30 plus fucking years ago. What makes you think just because you wrote a book and you've researched some shit that you could do this? She's over there and the Christ of the Lord, and the chick is like, I'm good now. Ooh, a cross. Stab.
Give me your eyes.
I'm sorry.
That was tough.
Funny. I thought that was funny because to me,
I laughed too.
Oh yes.
Why is this funny? Why did it because she's just get stabbed, and I'm like, oh well, damn. All right, she's out.
It was funny because it you were like, oh, that's why they brought her back. That's even stupider. It felt nothing in this movie felt necessary. And the whole time you're kind of like, where's this going? And by the time we got to when they're actually doing the exorcism, I looked at the clock and I was like, yo, is there only 20 minutes left? Are we just now getting to the exorcism? So then you're like, what the fuck was it's so slow and painful. You're like, oh wait, why are we doing this?
Well, then it's also there was a lot of filler. This movie is mostly filler, and a lot of things that could have landed on an editing room floor, to just pace this up to get us where we need to be. This
it's already a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, exactly. They need to almost be a 2-hour movie for sure.
Yeah, 2-hour horror movies are tough. Given this wasn't scary, but yeah, 2 hours and half of it felt like a abduction movie. It kind of felt like that movie Prisoners, where they were like trying to find kids. Well, not like it was the same, but like it felt like that. And then when it got
especially the first act.
Like, oh, all right, here we go. It's a different movie.
I would say after the cold open in Africa, that makes sense.
No, that's in Haiti, my friend.
In Haiti, my bad. And Tati called that shit out immediately. She's like, why would that woman be that far along and be in a third world country? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Also, why, if you've got a child, you're with child, and that child's about to be delivered soon, I ain't going to no stranger's place for a blessing ceremony.
Oh, yeah, that was
on my stomach. Nigga.
Y'all think that was early them like trying to put a curse on the baby or something?
I wrote down immediately. I was like, well, that's not a blessing for sure. Like you don't, but also like Justin's alluding to, you don't want to gamble that.
Yeah. Right. And also you're in another country where they have like different customs and things like that. Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure, that they were, alluding to that this couple is a Haitian couple, and that's fine. So they know the culture and they know the rituals. Either way, I don't give a fuck. I don't necessarily live there. They're on a vacation, business trip, whatever it was.
It seemed like he was on a photography gig, right?
Exactly.
But it wasn't clear.
Yeah. I ain't letting nobody bless my baby, my unborn child. Absolutely fucking not. That is not nigga certified.
Justin, would you let your wife go, like, it seemed like an hour by herself, just wander? Would you let her be like, would you be so like lenient about that? Because that was like
in Haiti?
Like, no, like, make sure know where she is. Just saying.
Is that what they were trying to say about Victor though? Which is like that I didn't understand what they were trying to say about the dad, because Tati and I talked about it after the movie, which we were like, I can't believe we're discussing this fucking movie still, which is the movie trying to say don't try to control things because then it could backfire on you. So just have faith, because, the whole thing is like, Victor's given the choice. Is like, you can either save the baby, Angela, or you can save your wife. And then we cut to the future when like Victor's with his daughter. And it's like, we assume that, he chose the daughter to save, right?
Yeah.
But then we find out he actually chose the mother, but the mother still died of complications and the baby survived.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's like him even trying to make that choice, it still backfires the same way with the white dad at the end, which I knew that was going to happen. I was like, you can't trust these white parents. They're going to pick.
Not even that. Not even that. You can't trust a fucking demon. It's literally that too.
He's like, hey, demon, you promise? If we choose somebody, you promise
like,
to do good?
Yeah. Like, no, don't trust a fucking
preacher was there and said saying, don't trust them, don't. Don't.
Oh wait, you talking about the preacher that got his neck twisted around like a Tootsie Roll?
Okay, the evangelical preacher, not the Catholic.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's everyone during the exorcism. There's like 4 priests in this motherfucker, including the nurse who I wrote down. How did she afford to do this cross global, like a global fucking trip to recruit that priest? She went. Remember when she goes to get the priest that like is all reluctant when he comes to be like,
that was their local priest.
It was the local priest.
Oh, it was a local priest.
It alluded that she took this like fucking huge journey. I know her and Victor both traveled. That montage is confusing.
He had to go to like the archbishop or the cardinal, whatever, of their district.
That's the travel I saw.
To get to get permission, but he didn't go like to Europe or anything like that. He just went to the local diocese to be like, yo, we need some help here. There's some wild shit going on. Bro, even though he bitched up.
That priesthood scene where they're all talking and the one father's like, I'm so worried for your father. I wrote down, this is like some bootleg Jedi Council shit. This is like, it's so bad.
All niggas in robes too. So
and then the music,
I'm for it.
The music is horrible. The little remix that they tried to do with the exorcism theme is terrible. Like everything about this, I'm like, how did they get it so wrong?
Yeah, it was very like thrown together. What was I hate for lack of a better word, voodoo lady? What would you say her religion, or the woman who did, the black woman?
I
don't want to
sucking the essence out of them, like one piece by piece.
I think she's supposed to be the Haitian connection.
Okay. Okay.
So I think she's supposed to try to link his Haitian roots to the beginning. So it's like, hey, we have some black folks suffering in there. Here's a black person that's trying to help him who does absolutely nothing. worthless to this film. It's just like, but guys, we got a black person in here. That was what they're trying.
Well, they gave her the preliminary crleansing with the whatever that thing that came out of the girls, like that dust that came out of their mouths. That
was wild because it that scene took about 2.5 to 3 minutes, and then they're like, "Are they okay?" She's like, "It's just the beginning," alluding that she has to do that multiple times. I'm like, "Yo, we ain't got that kind of time."
Right? There was no rhyme or reason, honestly, to the process.
Okay. I got a question about this. In the first one, we do see Linda Blair at the end. Spoiler alert, everybody. She has a quick cameo. But she doesn't have any of the scars in the first one, right? So I'm wondering, do you keep the scars after exorcism? Like the girls with the crosses in their faces and the scars and shit?
No, because
that goes away, right?
Yeah, it goes away because that's that seems to be deformations caused by the demon. And they don't necessarily keep those. Those are like marks of the demon.
It's
or the occult.
Along with the smell and them rotting, their skin peeling off. It's like truly the demon taking form and sucking truly life form out, which I always take it as when I watch possession movies.
Exactly.
And then as soon as it's gone, it's like, oh, you're back. Whatever.
Okay, so I just want to walk back really quick. Sid, do you have any children?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay, I know Brandon, you don't have any children, but if
not that I know.
Niggas.
I have nightmares all the time, bro. I have nightmares all the time.
So let's say you get the news that, hey, get pregnant wife, girl, or whatever, and they say, hey, you're gonna have to choose between your wife or the baby. This is a hard question.
Yes.
For me. And I thought about this because I remember Paul and I had this conversation, and she was just like, "You choose the baby." I'm just like, "Nah, homie, I choose you."
That's what I told Tati.
Huh? Yeah,
I told Tati the same thing.
Well, because when it really comes down to it, then I have to look in that child's face every single day and know it's just like, oh, the person I love is no longer here but that's a hard thing. But in that situation, especially because the mother was injured in a fucking earthquake in Haiti. Too soon? Maybe so. I was kind of just like, I understand why he chose her, but bro, I don't think she's going. It looked like something had fallen on her.
Yeah, I mean that was rough. With that fake ass belly, all this is trash. This whole thing was trash.
Yeah, I agree, Brandon. It was such a crazy moral dilemma, but because the movie, when she under the rubble, she's like, protect her, which to me, I'm like, oh, so she's dead. Cut the next scene. Oh, yes. She's right there. She's obviously sleeping. She's not, but it's like, okay. And then the doctor comes over, you got to pick one. He picks the wife. It doesn't make sense, the sort of why he would feel so guilty, to be honest, because, hey man, what would that's so I feel like that's typical of fathers to be they're not carrying the baby, until the baby's here, you don't form a bond. So it makes sense for him to be like, yeah, choose my wife. So
that's what Ali in the chat said. Shout out to Ali. He wrote, I have a daughter. Women will choose the baby because they feel the life growing. Men need to form a bond after birth.
Right.
And for me, similar to what Justin said, is I even with the counseling, the therapy I'm going through and stuff, do you the emotional turmoil I would go through on a daily basis that could have a negative detrimental impact on my child? I don't, you know what I mean? I feel like you traumatize your child in a different way. Yeah. Right. That you can't quite control. One, because they're going to grow up without their parent, one parent,
and the mother, which is critical.
Knowing that they died to bring them into this world, and then two, they see how much you as the partner, as their father, is also struggling. I would just worry about the trauma that I would give my kids. So
Well, then you also got to factor in the fact is that's why he was very, kind of a hover. What do they call them?
Helicopter.
Yeah, helicopter.
But he wasn't though.
No,
Yeah.
but he was.
I don't think Victor. Like it seemed like he kind of like didn't care a lot.
I don't know. Like he assumed she was okay all the time. Like she just like, oh, you're okay. You have
like
friends.
A helicopter parent for me would be like the white parents, except they also didn't know that their daughter was gone for a minute too, but they seemed like they'd be more likely to be helicopter parents and like module with the kids like learning in school, all that shit.
The dad definitely that came off like a helicopter dad.
Yeah, because to Sid's earlier point about this definitely felt like it could have been prisoners in a different world executed way better. This could have been a horror prisoners, even though prisoners is kind of in theory a horror thriller on its own. Because the first act should literally be the panic of losing the daughter, not knowing where they are. They're gone for 3 days. And then that was the only effective scene, but it was already in the trailer, which was why the daughter was like, why does everyone keep asking me, how long do I think I've been gone? And he's like, how long do you think you've been gone? She's like, a few hours. He's like, girl, you were gone for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like that's the best executed scene. And it was already ruined for us. So like for me, I was like,
like, where the fuck was she? Well, and that's the thing. Being that they were gone for 3 days, they should have used that 3 days as ways to unlock some of like the myth behind this the demons and things like that, of what they were going through that sent them down this path. But maybe without that,
maybe like a missing girl from that same area before, or maybe like, oh, there's some stories of in this woods people have killed. Like they didn't do any of that until found them already possessed, and now keep the possession story going. What was funny during that part where you're like, looking for the daughters, they're pulling in all the faith stuff, like, the white parents, like, faith that, and the dad's just pissed. Goes home
and he disavowed religion because of what happened in Haiti.
Right.
Yeah. Understandable.
And he goes home thinking his daughter's home, and it's his neighbor with, the Haitian women, blessing the
That
room.
was nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts because ultimately he dismissed the people, which that character, it would have been like, all right, maybe we get something from that character before we like get her later, which just felt like, I don't know you. I wish there was more of her. But also in that part, when he's like dismissing them, they don't play into like, his fears. Is he like worried she's dead? Like not like a scene to like really pull in him being like as a father, like feeling guilt, because you know what I'm saying? They didn't do that.
Yeah.
They waited till the later end. They played out till the end when it's too late, in my opinion.
So it's also like at the beginning of the disappearance of the girls, where they're at the police station, is like, I don't know you. I don't know your daughter. What the fuck was your daughter up to with that whole thing?
Yeah.
At that point, for me as a dad, I'd be like, okay, this isn't fucking helping. And the first thing I'd be like, is just like, if you have that back and forth, it's like, hey, is there anything that your daughter, like, you don't know about her? Well, obviously there's nothing they could tell you that they don't know, but like, is there anything that she was into, something that you could help? And then they, come with that. Right. As I'm watching this, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit triggered by this, because like, this is one of my worst fucking fears, is like one of my children going missing. All right. And so I'm sitting there, I'm watching this, and then now they're arguing. It's like the first thing I would say is like, okay, hold on. I'm not blaming you guys. I think we just need to be on the same page and share as much information as possible so we could find our kids. I'm scared. You're scared. We need to work together on this.
We're all fucking scared.
Yes, exactly. Like, we're all fucking scared. I only want my kid back.
That stoic cop, a female cop, the stoic cop, that was kind of her role. Like, oh, we all have the same objective here. That was kind of her role.
Oh, that cop was terrible. She felt like she was out of a Chris Stokes movie.
Very
she was so bad. But Justin, to your point though about that scene, that's why I feel like Bitter's kind of supposed to be an asshole. Because even with Ann Dowd's character, the neighbor, and she's talking about the bins. Yeah, it's annoying. He's just gonna whatever, blah blah blah. And it is like weird, like, because I don't know, man. To kind of your point, Justin, like, I don't have kids, but I would be fucking either outside all the time looking for my kid, or I'd be fucking losing my mind. I wouldn't have time to just sit around and think at a hospital about like where, or at the police station about where my kid is.
Well, no, because you're going to be doing anything that you could possibly do to find your child. You're going to be outside, and if you're inside, everything's going to have to be fucking worth it, right? Your time is every second is precious at that point. So we're not arguing over bullshit. We're just like you put in chat, activate Liam Nielsen taking mode. Absolutely. Sure. You're shaking niggas down for information. So it's like they come at me, it's like, hold on. I'm like, we're same team. I'm scared. Yeah. You're scared. We need to share as much information so we can find the girls right fucking now. Let's go.
Little do we know, we have to fight a demon. So we gotta reserve our fucking energy. Because that had to be crazy. I mean, when they found the girls, and, you know, I'm surprised they like went into details. There's like an SVU episode where they're like, you know, showing that they did the rape kid and stuff like that. And I'm like, but when they were looking for the daughters, going to that subject real quick, when Leslie Odom Jr. went to that homeless shelter or whatever, and started talking to those creepy niggas, I'm like, all right, bro. Immediately they're gonna say some creep shit or they're pedophiles. So when he got to the hot dog, it was like, I was like, nigga, what you think that conversation was going?
Exactly.
It was going nowhere good. It's like,
right, exactly.
There was nothing good was gonna be said out of these homeless men's mouths.
Yo, I would have went to that fucking soup kitchen and started serving up fucking these fucking African soup bones. Yo, because then that dude was out of pocket. He's like, you know, sometimes they go and they find something that's better for them, like a little. And I was just like, all right, flip the table and just start beating niggas with the table. I would have went straight up WWE on these motherfuckers. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I hope they burn in hell.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Wild-eyed no. Just
exactly. To be honest. Leslie Odom's character, I don't remember the character's name, but he wasn't acting black enough as a dad. I know my mom in that situation, if I were to be gone for an hour and no one can account for me, holy shit. You're not going to hear the end of it until my ass is in her fucking arms again. Like, so especially at that age. So I wish he was a little more like, motherfucker.
Yeah, like, so you fucked this up for me now because yo, because you compared it to Prisoners, and now I can't get that movie. Literally, this is the same plot to Prisoners. They just add an exorcism and demon because it's a black family, Viola Davis and Terrence Howard, and the white family, Hugh Jackman and the hot chick from A History of Violence, and they're trying to find their kids, and they're working together. Race relations are great, right? But like even light skinned Terrence Howard had more of a sense of urgency than black ass Leslie Odom Jr. And he's supposed to be Haitian. Come on now,
come on now. I would have been kicking in some doors, waving the fofo. That's exactly what you should be doing.
Exactly.
That is what that line is for. These moments right here.
To use your word, Justin, that wasn't black certified enough. It wasn't black certified.
No. And you know what?
They honestly probably did have a black father, you know, a white father and daughter. Like, because I can see the way that role was written. I can easily see them being like, we got a lot of white people in here. We're gonna release this in 2023. We should make them black. And they added quickly the detail about Haitian shit. Yeah, like because it's done so lazily that it doesn't really fit with the world that they built and what we know about these demons and prior Exorcist movies. I've only seen 2 other ones, right?
Can I also ask this question?
Yeah.
Now this may be nigga, but a nigga who's
did anyone else say that bubble pop over?
Yeah,
it's these new
I thought
things.
I was high as fuck.
These new things. If I do a thumbs up, it's with Zoom and like and actually thumbs up comes up on the screen. It's like it's this new thing that's on it. I don't know.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's fucking wild shit now. But all right, so let's say a nigga works at Macy's taking pictures, for people, right? You think they making enough money to live in that? like what
that's what Leslie Odom Jr.'s doing, right?
Was that?
That's what Leslie Odom Jr.'s job was, right? He was taking photos at Macy's
photography studio or something. Yeah,
like he was fucking Goofy in a Goofy movie. What the fuck was he doing?
Hey, Max.
That was so crazy.
Hey, Angela. Hey, Angela.
Like, holy fuck, man. Yo, I wrote down though my notes. Once this is what I knew. I was like, oh, this is an exorcism movie though, because they only do this shit here. When the blood started coming out the groin through the gowns, I was like, Yep, this is why I don't fuck with this series because this shit, other level.
Them demons were on demon time. Them demons were on demon time. He said, sister, whatever, something like that. And I know what happened to your baby, and then start bleeding. I'm just like, God damn. And let's not talk about them nasty ass nails. Ugh.
Well, that
them
was also
feet were all jacked up.
Even when they had good moments with actors, like Ann Dow does a solid job of what the fuck she's given, which is an insane character. And she does the monologue after that where she's like, no one ever knew that story about me having this abortion.
Yeah.
And your daughter brought it up to me. And that was like an effective scene, but then it goes on so fucking long about religion and life and sacrifice. And it's like, Jesus Christ, guys.
And there was like an abortion thing going on. Like there was like 2 abortion like plots. So I'm like, are they trying to say, I don't know. Were they trying to say something like, oh, if you choose not to keep the baby, then you're cursed, which happened to the dad essentially. And then I'm like, that seems, but whatever.
Wait, so you think the dude who kind of turned a soon to be nun on to dick and got her pregnant is really thinking he's that nigga though? Right? Can I just say that you have to be in your mind that nigga if you pipe down a fucking I'm going in the seminary, but not before I catch some of this hot action over here. That motherfucker must be like, yeah, I fucked the nurse away. I'm sorry, I fucked the nun away from God.
I mean, she is a nurse later on.
Right.
So,
yes,
which is insane because she goes from being a nurse. She goes from being a nurse and this nigga's a neighbor to then being like, I'm gonna recruit a priest to do an exorcism to, he copped out, so I'm gonna do it. Like, who the fuck is this woman?
this is why God put me, made me leave the convent and live next door to you so I could perform this exorcism. Like, nah, bitch, bro, you here.
This movie should have been called
about to get snapped.
Bro, this movie shouldn't have been called The Exorcist Believer. This should have been called The Karen's Believer. Because we had 2 older white women that are like, I could do an exorcism. And fucked around and found out. This is insane. Well, it's just so crazy, guys.
You either get stabbed in your eyes or your priest gets his neck snapped.
Yep. Well, and the funny thing is that priest kicks in the door. He's just like, yo, I got this. Here now. He's just like, power of Christ compels you. I got.
Why was that motherfucker so confident? They said no. Everyone's like the whole time, don't touch him, don't touch him. This nigga's like, nah, motherfucker, I got rosaries.
It was so crazy, and it was also
and he told him not to touch him too.
Right.
But he said, stay back from him.
But the way that he came through, guys, does that allude that essentially the creators behind this movie were trying to be like, niggas that practice Catholicism think that they're the shit, that they got the magic touch? Because you're right, he came in like, it's all right, everybody. I mean, Leslie Odom Jr. shamed him. He was sitting in the car moping. He was like, the battle's in there. I was like, don't talk like that.
He was sitting, he was praying. In the car.
Praying,
yeah, but he ain't praying inside, nigga.
But you're right. You're right though. He's still not gonna win. He's just like, yo, the fight's in there, nigga. What you doing out here?
No, but the way he delivered.
Leslie Odom Jr. That was a good line.
Leslie Odom Jr. though, the thing is, he's a better actor than what this movie gave him.
Yeah.
And our producer Lluvia did some research, and there's nothing in this about this, but the Deadline article that talked about how big of a bomb this movie is and how the franchise essentially put Universal and them in a hole with this shit. It had one quick line where it said Leslie Odom Jr. walked off set, and I'm always like, I couldn't find anything else about that shit. And I'm wondering if it's because, like, to Justin's point, he's like, this isn't black certified. Like, niggas gonna have questions about what I'm doing here. Like, you can't have a black family and then behaving like this. Because there were times that it reminded me of Michael from Lost, where it was kind of like, did he forget about his daughter? Like, we see Leslie Odom Jr. taking his time, like, going to find Ellen Burstyn's character. It doesn't feel like he has a sense of urgency. It's kind of like, let me sit down and have tea and listen to this white woman pontificate about how she doesn't want to help me.
Well, I mean, he sticks his daughter in the, psychiatric hospital, I mean.
Yeah.
Nuts.
It's so, all right. When the daughter started turning into
weird.
a demon, huh?
Started being weird, and he wasn't the black dad reaction to it.
And she must have had some stank piss because he made that face when he picked up those soiled sheets.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
He was just like, this nasty bitch. But yo, when she got like pale and shit like that, and you know her hairline just started going up back here even more, the forehead's protruding. I was just like, yo, why does she look like fucking Vigo the Destroyer from Ghostbusters 2? Like, what is going on?
The
with this
makeup was
little girl?
not good. I didn't think the makeup was good at all. With
Oh no, they look terrible.
The Transform girls, they look like the Lost Boys for the 80s. It was terrible. I'm like, I don't know if that's intentional, but it did not look good. It's even the effects, like, you know, them oozing out blood clots or whatever fuck. It already felt so familiar to the first, whatever that big bloody clump was, but it all felt so like close to the original that you're not giving me anything new. The thing about Halloween 2018 that I think did a really good job with a requel was that, yes, it's the same old story. Mike Myers is fucking coming to kill Laurie Strode. He's killing teenagers on the way. But the way that they shot it, which I actually think backfired in this one, the way they shot it, I remember like the tracking shot of Mike Myers, you know, like the trick-or-treaters and shit. And he's just stoically walking through like the neighborhood and gets this hammer and starts killing motherfuckers, right? And I remember people being like, whoa, that's a pretty good shot. And when he killed a kid finally, people are like, oh shit, they straightened up a little bit. And this, it's like you're giving me more or less the same. The only shock was Ellen Burstyn getting the cross stab into her face multiple times.
And but you know what's funny though? When that happened, in my mind, I said, nah, that little girl is not gonna make it, because don't no white woman die or get hurt on screen and there is no retribution. That's how I knew that little girl was going to die in this film. Now, it was a black girl that she definitely would have been dead.
Oh, yeah.
The police would have came in the door and gave fucking 47 warning shots into the back of her head. But in this case, that little white girl stabbed that woman's eyes out, and somehow she didn't die because, listen, you stabbed my eyes out with a fucking cross, and you're going blip, 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 blip. You know, I think most likely I'm gone. Like, that's for the count, right? Just deep enough and it's over.
Right.
The brain's right there.
Why did they give her, after that scene, why did they give her the Neo from Matrix Revolutions eye patch? Why did they do that to her?
They did that, and then they gave her like the worst monologue ever. And I wrote down, she didn't sound like someone who had gotten her eyes fucked up and is now blind. She just
took it in stride.
Yeah, she's just like,
she was just ready to be blinded horrifically.
Like, you know, life.
And then
life
she's
goes
sitting
on.
in the bed and she's sitting there fucking reaching for shit. I'm like, bitch, what you reaching for? It's like, you a fucking cat.
Thinking she Neo out of this bitch.
All right, I'm just I wrote down there's a lot of weird cuts, a lot of weird zooms and stuff that I think again worked for Eastbound and Down and even Halloween to an extent that David Gordon Green did, but for this movie it just did not match the vibe of the original. And if like people were going to the original to watch this as to be considered a direct sequel versus the other trashy sequels that followed, then you're going to be really thrown off by how this doesn't really feel aligned, except for Ellen Burstyn being inserted in there. Like this could just be like some other fucking exorcism movie.
Yeah.
Do you think the problem that it wasn't scary enough, or was it too, I guess, because it felt cartoonish?
It's for me, I think it's that.
Okay.
I would say cookie cutter, but also for me, it doesn't earn its name. Like I said, this feels like it could have easily been some like college kids like exorcism movie that they just were like, oh, we need a script for The Exorcist. This does well. How do we put in Ellen Burstyn's character and maybe have a callback to the first one with Linda Blair's character? Okay, cool. Yeah. We're good to go. It didn't feel like, and that's the thing I think they benefited from like a requel with like Scream or Halloween, is that you get that continuity with the original. Like, you know that their stories continue to an extent after the original, right? Or for Halloween, it's at least like I've seen Jamie Lee do this so many times. I can kind of jump into whatever the fuck they're offering this time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas this, like, again, Ellen Burstyn didn't even want to come back, so clearly she didn't believe in the story. So it's like if that's the only hook you have for an original, besides that, half-ass like remix of the theme, that's not enough to warrant paying $400 for the estate. Unless this really is just for the amusement parks during the Halloween season, which seems like a really expensive gimmick to have on a theme park.
They're really making sequels out of this movie? They're planning to make sequels from this?
The plan was for them to make 2 more.
Okay.
I
Right.
think they're still kind of, I don't know if they're obligated to. Okay. According to Ubi's research, Blumhouse spent $400 million to secure the filming rights, which is crazy because Blumhouse notoriously they shoot low and they make high box office. Like that's their model. So
Right.
then and on top of that, they had to guarantee a trilogy. Oh shit. So even if Believer bombs at the box office, the next two films still have to be made. Now, I guarantee you that probably David Gordon Green's not directing the next one. And I'd be surprised if they kept with the script that is done right now.
Wow.
Yeah, they need to overhaul this and like really do some wild shit. Like and like, you know, you can't just and you know, I'm sorry, you know, to go back to that fucking priest, like that, like him coming in him coming in like it's like it was very professional wrestling the way he popped in. It's just like somebody's getting beat up in the ring, and here comes the priest rushing to the ring like he's fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, slides in, giving stutters to everybody, right? Pouring beer over the people, and then all of a sudden the Undertaker slides in and grabs him and choke slams his ass, and it's like, and then goes off. Like that's what it was like, and it was like. It was just dumb. It was just dumb. Like they have to do better than that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Considering the fact that he didn't want to be a part of it, he goes to the Vatican, not the Vatican. He goes to the Archdiocese, and they also tell him it's like, well, you know, exorcism is dangerous for the person being exorcised and the exorciser, whatever, the priest or whatever. So like, we don't want you to be put at risk. We don't want you to put this family at risk. We want nothing part of it. Someone's like, okay, so we're foreshadowing some really bad shit happening. Yeah. So it's like we all knew something. And then when he bursts through the door, he's just like, yo, I got this, and then steps up to get his neck snapped like that. I'm just like, this was just dumb. If you want to create some sort of emotional connection to that character, have him in the movie and really fighting to get this thing done. Not standing outside. He's just like, can't do it, y'all. Hey, here, take this book. Here's a little piece of garlic. Peace. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That seems to be the problem with a lot of characters. They weren't fleshed out enough. Like, to be honest, the two parents, like, we kind of got some of the mom, like clearly she's all about the church, very religious, but the dad, we didn't get anything. Like, also, why was the dad not with the mom, like taking his shoes off? Why was he bucking the whole thing to begin with? What was his issue? They didn't go into that. They didn't like.
Well, I guess they were alluding that they're already on the verge of possibly splitting up or something like that. Because at the end, they show them like grieving, but they're like doing it separately. So it alludes that they're split up and stuff. I don't know. Like you said, like there's not enough character development for anybody except for Victor. And I didn't care.
The white dude, Tony, I think his name or something. Like the neighbor that brought who dares?
That brought the Haitian lady in.
Right.
Oh, first of all,
he was there the whole time.
Wait. Hold on. That's right. Let's talk about that motherfucker. Why is the white dude bringing in some random Haitian lady into this nigga's house? Yeah, he comes home and I got a white dude and some Haitian lady just fucking incense around my shit. Like, nigga, who are you? Who are you? And who is this bitch in my house right now? Bro, I would be ready to shoot immediately. Immediately. I walk in my door and there is two people. One of them's my neighbor, but they're inside of my house and some woman's with fucking incense, and my fucking daughter is in a psychiatric institute and she's got feet that looks like she's a goddamn fucking hobbit that's been walking.
Their feet were jacked up.
Like she just ran the fucking New York Marathon barefoot. And you're telling me that you just gonna walk in my fucking house and not get a bunch of shells in your chest? Get out of here. Everybody's getting at least fists.
And they were in Georgia too, so stand your ground.
Oh, that's not down there.
They would have shot that black girl real quick. Once she started turning into a demon, they would have killed. They would have lit her up like a Christmas tree. I mean, I mean, also, can we just go back to fucking Ellen Burstyn's character? It is Ellen Burstyn, right? Yes. Her character just fucking. She was a mom who did research on exorcisms because she was fascinated by it. Wrote a best-selling book that made her estranged from her daughter. She doesn't even know if her daughter's alive or dead. And then she's like, you know what, black man, I'll come help you. And then tries to do an exorcism. Like, can we just talk about how fucking bold that is? Like, that's such a crazy character arc from the original to that shit. And then she goes into the room. She's like, the vibrations are strong. And I was like, nigga.
And she
Who did she study under?
And she did have a line where she said, I wasn't even allowed to be in the room because, patriarchy.
Yes.
Like, so, yeah, why are you, whatever? Why are you in there then? Why are you walking up the stairs like, I see the demon?
Yeah, exactly. It's
She
because it was
walks
trying
in
to
the
pay.
room, she's like, I got this.
Because it was trying to pay homage to the first one, right? When the priest is like, I felt this devil, this evil before or some shit, right? But I did write down, I was like, well, I think it's fair to say that exorcism didn't go well when she got her eyes stabbed out.
No joke. At the end, when the priest gets like his neck snapped, no joke, when they're like all like that last like minute, like they're all trying to, the two parent, well, the mom and the dad, like, I won't choose. I swear to God, I thought she was gonna come in like hands out, blinded, like just doing some fucking, I won't put, like, just all of a sudden she got powers and shit, like,
well,
fuck it, exactly, go for it, fuck it.
May as well go all fucking in.
In the chat, Curtis wrote she has an Exorcism for Dummies book. That's basically is kind of what she wrote.
She's a white woman that watched a YouTube video on exorcism and thinks that she can do it. It's just like a carrot. That's what I said. It's crazy.
Water on her.
Also,
God.
I got a logistical
I was
question.
waiting for that too, Sid. I was waiting for her to come through and just like she pops up out of the hospital blind. He'd be like, I've got this. I'm just like, no.
She's like, I've got the power.
Wearing a kufi.
Who pays for the damage of an exorcism? Is that covered by insurance?
Also,
oh no. Well, also, who's going to prison for the 2 deaths?
Yeah, the dead kid.
Wait, what? Wait, what 2 deaths?
The dead kid.
The dead kid and the neck snap of the priest.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, who's going to prison for that? Because when the police show up, they're like, there was an exorcism that happened here. Yeah, okay, nigga.
Yeah.
Right. Click. It's like, it's over.
Right.
It's over.
Right. Like, everybody in there going to jail. The fuck?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That threw me off.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's the question I was asking. Was like, okay, so what happened? So who's going to prison for this?
Well, I guess that because there's so many witnesses in the room with the other religious people in the room and the parents that they, I guess all of them together
Whose
united
house was
with
this at? Whose house was this at?
Right, Leslie Odom's.
Was it? I thought it was at the white parents' house.
No, it's Leslie Odom's. No, the white parents' house got destroyed. Remember? That's where she gets stabbed.
That's where Ellen Burstyn. Yeah, okay.
It was like that big three-story.
Yeah. That's right. So it didn't happen there. So
it was at Leslie Odom's house.
So this is at Leslie Odom's house. That means that this is going on his homeowner's insurance. That nigga's fucked. He's not going to be able to take enough family portraits to financially.
his premium is going to get insane.
I'm never going to financially.
Like he's fucked. You're right, Justin. He ain't gonna be able to afford that school district no more. I mean, again, what was his job? Because I also wrote that down. I'm like, I get it. Your daughters are missing, right? So then your daughters are missing. Obviously, you can take some time off of work, I imagine, right? But then your daughters are home. Okay, you start working again. Then you have to take time off again because your daughter's been possessed. Like, how do you get that approved? Like, imagine you get on a Zoom with your boss, like, hey, Keith, I don't know when I'll be able to come back. I gotta take some time off. My daughter's been possessed by the devil.
Wait, excuse me?
She got the demon inside. The priest, the church confirmed it. She's possessed by the devil.
Yeah, you got a 2:00 shift, nigga. I'll see you at 2.
No, Justin, you don't understand. The devil.
The devil my ass.
Don't cut off this money though. I need it because I gotta fight the devil.
No,
how much does it financially cost to fight the devil? Like, who pays for this?
I think if it's an exorcism, the church would probably take care of some of that stuff, but the church did not sanction this. Right. So this is a home exorcism.
Let's ask Chat GTI, GPT, whatever it's called. How much does an exorcism cost?
STI, what?
Let's see. There's a lot of factors that are considered with this tradition. Nigga, just give me a number.
It's a number, nigga.
It doesn't give you a number. It just says it's essential to approach any potential exorcism with caution and to ensure you're working with a reputable and qualified individual.
AKA, this shit's a scam. Some nigga just shows up to your house. I exorcise the demons.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Goat in his hand.
Like, your rate has to be high. It's got to be, I would like charge at least $500,000 because there's a possibility of me doing this gig and I don't come out the other end of it. Or the demon gets inside of me. You know what I mean? Like the first one.
That next
yeah, that's true.
That was horrifying when that dude fell out the window and he broke his neck.
Yeah.
Whew. But he got the demon
like,
out.
I'm taking somebody.
But the job was done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
one thing I will give this movie, when at the end where the white dad comes in, like, I choose you, Catherine, and fucks the whole thing up. That shit was fucking terrifying when the girl wakes up in that fucking, like, fucking underground water thing where they did the, seance beginning, and she's just sitting there, and then the fucking demon pulls.
And drowns her. Like, just
the logic of that. That actually got me. Just the little, because I had to kind of drift into my head, like, because the movie was stupid. I was just like, yo, that's fucked. Yo, this girl is just in the underworld demon world forever. Like, yo, that
that was wild. Yeah, that was wild that we saw.
That imagery fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie.
And know that her parents chose that because her dad fucked around and found out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's hunting her dad. Come on, the dad's getting haunted.
Listen, don't they go to no fucking psychics or anything that could talk to the dead, because she's gonna have some shit to say. Nigga, for real. Dad, for real.
Exactly.
She told you not to choose.
Exactly.
So when she walked
down, I'm sorry, go ahead.
When
she walked down that aisle at the church looking all crazy, I was like, nope. If I were a black person, there was one black person in that church, they should have been like, nope, and been trying to get out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And there were black people in that audience, I noticed.
I saw a black woman, but real quick, I did ask ChatGPT to give me a number for a budget, and they said it can't provide a specific number, but costs can range from being offered for free by religious leaders as part of their spiritual service to potentially involving fees that can range from a few $100 to a few $1,000. So you can potentially get an exorcism done for $5.99, the cost of a PS5.
So Lluvia in the chat said, according to Vice articles, they can be performed for free or they take donations. So, and that's the thing, paid by donations, that is not a lucrative business model.
You can't take care of yourself. You can barely buy ramen when you rely on donations.
Because you're basically saying, hey, out of the kindness of your heart, you give me what you think is fair for this. It's like, well, nigga, what I think is fair is what I got.
Yeah.
Well, based on how much demons seem to talk shit when they're possessing someone, shit, doing that for free, golly.
Why do demons have to roast niggas? Like when she was with the both of those demons for switching off, roasted him about like, you chose to mother. And then when he was like, I'm sorry, baby.
Ass nigga.
That was wild when he was like, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, honey. And then the other daughter's like, what about me, mommy and daddy? You don't miss me? I was like, this is fucking crazy. Like, I get what they're going for, but this is executed really badly.
Yo, them fucking little girls would have woke up all lumped the fuck up because I done punched that bitch in the face. I'm like, baby, it wasn't you that was punching, it was the demon. The demon was really getting personal with me. I had to bust that motherfucker into the white meat.
All right. So a few quick pieces of trivia that Lluvia, our producer, found. Ellen Burstyn had turned down reprising her role and was then offered double the salary. Burstyn thought, I feel like the devil is asking my price. She eventually accepted, using the salary to fund an MFA scholarship for actors at Pace University, where the actor studio teaches the program. Linda Blair, who played Regan in the original film, was and also had a cameo at the end, was an advisor on set to the actresses portraying the possessed girls in the film. Well, then she was a terrible advisor because they were, I mean, the physicality, I guess, worked, but the makeup and just that wasn't them. For most of it, that's different. That's voice acting, and that's contortionist. That's not them.
Right. So the ADR was a little wonky.
No, she just got a paycheck. Good for her.
Now, before we get to our rating, and before I get to this last piece of trivia, which is fucking wild, We did get some Patriot thoughts, and folks, remember, if you sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/mediapopcorn, you're guaranteed to have your thoughts and reviews of that upcoming film read on that episode. So we only got one Patriot thought, which was from Chrissy W., who wrote, "We really didn't need this." So we'll get to whether or not we agree with that. But Lluvia found in her trivia, William Friedkin, who's the original director of the 1973 film, his friend posted on Twitter and Facebook, William Friedkin once said to me, "Ed, the guy who made those Halloween sequels is about to make one for my movie, The Exorcist. That's right. My signature film is about to be extended by the man who made Pineapple Express. I don't want to be around when that happens. And if there's a spirit world and I can come back, I plan to possess David Gordon Green and make his life a living hell."
Oh God. Ooh.
And this is before he eventually did pass away. So,
wow.
I don't, man.
I guess he didn't get his blessing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that that's a good look, dude.
Wow.
That's like if I try to ask, like, The Exorcist is considered one of the best horror films of all time.
Right.
Right. And rightfully so. It's very effective. It's shot very well. It's well acted. And I think if I couldn't get the blessing of that director, I would kind of question whether or not I should do this. It's like kind of like doing Alien without getting Ridley Scott's blessing, or doing a Jaws movie and not getting Steven Spielberg's blessing. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta get some kind of support there, because I don't know if you could take on that legacy without it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
And it just makes things easier. I'm sure it would have been way easier to get Ellen Burstyn in if she knew that, like, the original team was behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she called this nigga, he's like, yeah, this dude said he would possess him in the afterlife.
Oh, man, it's gonna be a long, long fucking night for old boy.
You know,
he said he was gonna do it, and he dead now too. Jesus,
bro, what if he didn't? That's why we got this dog shit movie.
Oh, he was just fucking with him.
Like, he did it to destroy my man's career, so he can never do one of these again.
Thanks.
Oh, we'll never know. That's what's wild. We'll never know. I did write, though, when the white girl got taken instead of the black girl to hell, I did write down, "Oh shit, Mamma Mia," because at that point my edible had kicked in. So
you started
literally
talking
wrote
like
down
fucking Mario.
I literally wrote down, "Oh shit, Mamma Mia."
She was taking down the pipe. Oh, Mamma Mia.
Just to
Somebody get her a mushroom.
break down our race system, you crazy nigga.
So, you know how we do it, guys. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it into the dog shit pile. We pile piles and piles of dog shit on top of it. So we sat down and watched the 2023 release of Exorcist Believer, starring Leslie.
Exhibit. Oh my God, Exhibit in
my
this?
Exorcist.
Bro, Exhibit
my exorcism.
Actually, that could have been amazing if Exhibit was the dad.
No, if Exhibit was the priest, and they started roasting this nigga for the fucking terrible cars that he did back in the day, and then they still snap his neck. We got to snap that nigga's neck.
All right.
A fishbowl in the car, nigga. Oh. Okay, starring Leslie Odom Jr. and pretty much no one else that we actually care about. Sid, what say you, sir?
I will give this movie a fucking pile of dog shit. The main reason why is, for a movie that's supposed to be scary, the jump scares were either predictable or they were comical. Yeah. And the one at the end snapping the priest, just more ridiculous than anything. So it wasn't scary. That's what I'm paying to go watch in October, go get scared. And also too long. So dog shit. And your point, Brandon, about how that previous director did give a blessing on it, that is the ultimate sign of this movie's about to suck. It's not going to do well. The previous original, that's dead. That's dead for that. That's how that works. So dog shit completely.
Brandon?
Yeah. This gets 2023 piles of dog shit. This is really bad. This is not fun. Because it's a talented team and people behind this, that's what makes it worse. right? I think that Leslie Odom Jr. he went above and beyond the material. If I'm being honest, I think the effects were very lazy. I was surprised by how terrible the CGI kind of looked. Even the blood looked bad. I think the little girls did fine with what they were given and the complexity of their role, and then it became, these possessed voices and it clearly stunt people in the role at a certain point. I thought it was stupid. I thought inserting these older white women who literally just make things worse. I didn't think that was helpful. I thought it was really random how they forced other cultures, religions in. And then they got really preachy, and it was hitting me over the head, but it wasn't even saying anything. I think that's what's annoying about it. I rolled my eyes so many times during the monologue scenes. So, fuck, this is terrible. And I hope they go in a completely different direction, like you said, Sid, for the next ones. Just fucking shoot for the stars.
Why not?
Justin?
Okay, so this film had 111. It was a 111 minute runtime, which, as we all know, 111, that's an angel number. I looked it up. Angel number 111 is a powerful number for manifesting and manifestation, obviously. Well, they manifested a pile of dog shit. So 111 piles of dog shit. This was not necessary to make. There were so many things that just it was just dumb, and it was just it just didn't make sense on how they did it, which was very frustrating. Because even going back to the priest, right? The priest, yes, I'm mathing over this, the motherfucker. The priest, it would have been better served if when they snapped his neck, they just quickly snapped his neck and he just drops to the floor, as opposed to him pausing and then you see the bone popping out and shit like that. It actually took away from the actual death. So it's things like that is they don't understand horror, and what really fucking gets people be like, oh shit, these motherfuckers mean business. They should have just snapped his shit. He falls to the ground and be like, yo, and then you see his mangled fucking neck there. I think that could have been a possibility. It was like, oh shit, that was kind of cool. But no, they constantly missing the marks throughout this movie. Therefore, 111 piles of dog shit for me.
Straight up.
There you go, y'all. That's our review on what the fuck was this? The Exorcist Believer, yeah. Sid, please tell the listeners how they can follow you. If you choose to share that info.
I'm not the most active on social media, so I'm not gonna give out my social.
No worries.
It's okay. It's all good.
All good. Well, folks, y'all know you can follow me at Frodo_Blackens on all the social media platforms. You can follow the show at Medium P Podcast and all those apps as well. And if you were listening to this Friday morning, there's still time to join us probably for Medium Popcorn live at the Under St. Mark's Theater. We're going to be reviewing Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. It's going to be in person in New York City, but also live stream. You get tickets for either option at mediumpopcorn.com. And Justin, how can people support the show financially as well as follow you, my brother?
Well, first of all, if you want to follow me, take yourself over to J Brown David on the socials. Stop calling me baby. But you can also go to patreon.com/medium popcorn. We have $2, $5, $10, and $15 packages.
That's right.
If you love the show, support the show, and you want all of our backlogs, bonus episodes, and mini episodes, you need to be on Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/medium popcorn. And also grab yourself some swag at tpublic.com/medium popcorn as well.
That's right. Yep. Medium popcorn and some packages. All right, Sid, thank you so much for being a fan, bro.
Thank you. Brother.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to continue talking movies with you, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
All right, little biscuits. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.